All right, so today we're going to do a leather review, specifically focusing on the new specialty leather groups that we got introduced in April this year, and the handle covers that you guys have just recently received in the stores. So we're going to talk a little bit about leather in general. So obviously, leather is a big part of everything that we do. We get a lot of customers that ask for it. Just wanted to give you kind of a reminder of some of the great value that your customers are getting when they do purchase leather. Obviously, it is style versatile. You can go anywhere from sleek and modern to a more heavy traditional look and everything in between with the leathers that we offer. It's nature's fabric, so it's, you know, eco-friendly. When you get that customer that's a little bit worried about that, because we do use leathers that are a byproduct of the meat industry. It's just really using a full portion of everything that's being put through that process. Your leather pieces are truly one-of-a-kind pieces because there's natural markings in each hide. You get a customer that wants something very custom, this is the way to introduce leather for them. They're great for family and pets, easily cleanable. You can wipe it down, have resistance to rips, tears, burns. It's hard to puncture them. And overall, just a timeless piece to introduce into any room. Within La-Z-Boy, we do have our three main collections. So we have our select leather, custom leather, and custom plus leather. In the select leather, you will have two handles. You'll have the select reclining, which is all the leathers for your recliners and reclining sofas. And then you'll have select stationary, which is all the leathers that are married to the stationary sofas that we have in place that are leather only. So those are all going to be in LB leather. Like I said, they're married to the frame. So you'll see both stationary and reclining in there. And we do have a mix of the authentic and performance categories, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But in total, we're looking at about 70 leathers that are part of our select leather group. The next category is our custom leather, and that's all of our BL leathers. To use this category, you do need to make sure that the item that you're looking at does have an LM cap code. There are some pieces in our line that do not take the custom leather group, so please make sure you're double checking to verify that if you're offering this to customers, the item that they're looking at does have that LM cap code. And there's 10 colors in this collection. They're all performance. It's the cozy tannage that's in there right now. But it gives your customers an option to do a custom piece with a lower price increase. Both your select and custom leather groups are top grain leather where your customer's touching, and then the vinyl on the side and the back, the vinyl match. Your custom plus leather is leather all the way around, top grain on the whole thing. Your collection is going to range from a DL to a JL. So we've got DL, EL, FL, HL now, and JL. You do need the LL cap code to use this collection. So again, just double check your cap codes. With market changes, there have been some drops and things like that. So please just verify. And then there's about 50 leathers in that custom plus collection. That's going to include your Samba leathers as well as your new specialty leather handle, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes. And you'll see a mix in there as well of authentic and performance. And your custom plus group also has the one nubuck leather that we offer. So those three durability or performance ratings that you'll see on your leathers are performance, nubuck, and authentic. Performance is your corrected leathers. They're a pigmented top coat. They're very uniform in color and texture. We also do have a scratch resistant coating that's part of the tanning finishing process on your performance leathers. So those are really good for your customer that wants their leather to maintain that new look for a very long time. Your nubuck leather is just the one leather. That's your Montana leather. We've got it in the two colors now, the 74 and 57. And that's that brushed kind of suede look. So with nubuck, they actually kind of sand off that top layer of the cells to expose that softer feel. It's a little bit more velvety in hand. And so those are going to be much more absorbent than a traditional leather, but a look that you cannot replicate any other way. And then we have our authentic collection. So those are our uncorrected leathers. They have been dyed all the way through. It's going to show natural characteristics. You'll also see this performance rating that it will patina much faster. So one of my favorite questions to ask is when working with customers is, how do you want your leather to look in 5 years? If they want it to look very similar to the day that they bought it, you may want to direct your customer to a performance leather. If they wanted to feel worn in like a baseball glove or an old leather jacket, authentic is definitely the way to go for them. Your new specialty leather handle is what we're here to talk about today. So you guys should have all received a cover that looks like this picture here. It says specialty leather, and then it lists aniline, krypton, and antimicrobial at the bottom. Those are going to be some value stories that you guys can use to talk about the leathers and work with your customers to make sure they know what they're getting and the value that they're getting. And this is going to be considered part of your custom plus leather group. So you do need that LL cap code to use this. It's just swatched in a different way. You won't have the little 2x3 leather samples of this available. They just don't have them in stock that way. So when we talk about aniline leather, aniline it's a high quality leather product. A lot of people are familiar with aniline. We use that type of dye on a lot of our product, honestly, but the three that are in the specialty handle are all aniline dyed. And we use the top grain leather on everything that we're talking about. So we do have that very high-end process used in our leathers as well. If customers are coming in specifically asking about it, these are the leathers you want to show them. Within that, we do have our Krypton leather. So Krypton is a chemical additive that's in the final like clear protective top coat application that's on the leather when they finish it. And it becomes part of the leather, so it never wears off. Unlike a lot of like Scotchgard or other types of products that get put on after the leather is tanned that rub off and you need to reapply, this is actually part of the finishing process, and so it won't come off the leather under regular wear and cleaning conditions. A couple fun facts about Krypton. It's stain and water resistant. You can actually use a bleach solution to clean it as long as that bleach is not more than 5% of the cleaning solution. It extends the life of the furniture. It's environmentally friendly. Because of the way that it's sealed, it is naturally antibacterial because it won't allow bacterial and microbes to grow on the surface. And that coating also does help reduce against the fading that can be caused by UV damage. It doesn't eliminate it, but it does help minimize it. Just a general word for anything with the Krypton. You want to make sure that your customers, when they are cleaning, they're not scrubbing or rubbing with a lot of pressure or anything that's abrasive, like a scrub sponge or anything like that. You just want to let them know that they can like blot it or gently wipe it. And then they need to rinse the area with water after applying a cleaning solution. You don't want to let anything sit with chemicals on the surface like this. To remove this, a tough stain, they may have to do that multiple times. There are still going to be stains that they won't be able to get out, which is why you want to sell the added stain protection plan. There's things like ink or oil-based stains that will absorb into the leather no matter what you do, and that's where your third-party protection plan will come into play. Krypton, again, like I said, you can use a bleach solution as long as it's, again, no more than 5% bleach to be able to use in that cleaner. So the Krypton leather that we have is the JL 1400 Florence leather. So it comes in 4 colors now. You've got almond, Terra, espresso, and ocean. Those are the samples that you guys have with the seam in the center. Because we do them in smaller batches when they dye and tan them, you do want to show the variance that can happen within a piece so your customer is aware that they will be, consistently in the same color family, but it may not be an exact match. It's all based on how the hide actually absorbs the dye, and that's why you'll see some variance there. Your next section in your specialty handle is going to be your antimicrobial leather. So what is antimicrobial? It's similar to Krypton. It's an agent that kills microorganisms and stops their growth on contact. So it's going to inhibit the growth of mold, mildew, and odor-causing bacteria. We do that by using a liquid silver. Silver has been used for centuries as a natural growth inhibitor of bacteria. It kills them on contact and doesn't allow them to grow and foster. It's not toxic to humans, so it's super safe. Anybody can have their kids, their pets, whatever. It's not going to be an issue. And again, like I said, like Krypton, it won't wear off because it is part of that top finishing process. your two antimicrobial leathers that are new from this market, and you guys have probably seen their great collection, are your FL 1907 Alini, is how they're saying that. And you've got 6 colors, your Stonewash, a light gray, Storm, chocolate, haze, and dark blue. So the blues and the grays that we've been getting more asks for from customers, this is your collection to be able to showcase that to them. With this particular leather, there's also a step that's done in the tanning process. It's actually what they call a re-tanning process, and it gives it a supple, softer hand. So if you've not physically felt this leather, please do so. This is a great leather with all of the added antimicrobial and the way that it's finished. I think this is going to be a big hit for our entire line and part of our Custom Plus group. The third leather, that's the second antimicrobial, but the third one in the specialty group, is your HL 1906 Anchor. And that comes in 4 colors. That's your 73 oak, 75 saddle, the 77 brown, and a 79 walnut. And those 4 colors are more those cognac, caramel, saddle colors that we've been getting a lot of asks for. So again, it hits a color need that we were missing in our line with the addition of this also being antimicrobial. This leather has a little bit more texture to it with the way that it's finished than Alini does, but I think this is also going to be a huge seller for us. Just a reminder, you do need the LL cap code to use either of these leathers because they are part of our Custom Plus group. And with that, I'll let you guys go. If there's questions on anything, just shoot me an email, send me a text message, whatever you need. I'm here to help.